And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another weekly review with The Robot, brought to you by the Movie Pope. And here he is, bolts and nuts akimbo, The Robot.
Well, it's Hanukah and I want to celebrate this fine holiday by taking a look at another Robert Redford classic from 1972, The Candidate, released during the actual presidential campaign. It's not so much a commentary on the candidates as it was on the process itself. It's a behind the scenes, really, seeing how these individuals have to endure the madness of the campaign trail in order to get people to buy into their message. Long before social media, TikTok, the proliferation of podcasts, and digital marketing, the candidates had to get personal and run the marathon of newspaper interviews, television appearances, and trekking from the beach to wildfires to different neighborhoods just to make your presence known. And Robert Redford and Peter Boyle are perfectly paired. The grizzled vet who's seen and done it all, who's guiding the young ingenue into crafting his image and developing his message so it's accessible to the voting masses. Sure, politics can be sticky, and it's populated by defaced individuals who will say and do just about anything just to get one more term, which makes them the perfect target for satire and criticism. So, strap on your boots and get ready. We're gonna hit the trail and make sense out of this movie. Robert Redford plays Bill McKay, the son of former Governor John McKay, who gets cajoled into running for Senate against the Republican incumbent Crocker Yarmon, who's feeling not threatened by this kid. Bill is a public interest lawyer who's out in the community, helping the little guy, and doesn't seem keen into entering the political arena. Marvin Lucas, the consultant, convinces him that he can say and do whatever he wants, which he takes to heart in the beginning. However, as things begin to get real and he gets lured deeper and deeper into the campaign, his message gets tempered and spun to make it palatable to those who aren't as receptive to his progressive ideals. McKay is the embodiment of the younger generation that was coming up in the late 60s and 70s, wanting to make a difference in the world and sticking it to the establishment, so it seems antithetical for them to become part of said establishment. He wants to do it all on his own and doesn't even want his dad involved, but that doesn't last long. Bill is reasonably adverse to running for Senate, since he knows his message can get lost in all that mush. However, when he does end up beating Yarmon and winning, he comes to realize that this is real. He's no longer just contending for office, he's in office, and what we see in the final scene where he asks Lucas what do we do now exposes that he's out of his depth. And there really is no on-the-job training for an up-and-coming senator. You kinda have to learn as you go and hoping against all hope that he doesn't come out looking like a fool. Redford definitely gives us a vulnerable young man who's trying to hang on to his ideals for dear life, knowing that it defines who he is as a person, but knowing it can easily get swept away once he gets to Washington. What do we do now? Lucas can't answer that because he doesn't know what he can do. At this point, Bill McKay is on his own and must survive on his wits. Marvin Lucas, the consultant, must find a Democratic candidate to stand up and push Crocker Yarmon out of his Senate seat. And it's no easy task, since no one wants to get involved in the mess. I could never quite figure out why Lucas even gets hot and bothered by all this, but he makes it his personal crusade to knock the incumbent off his seat and replace him with someone else. Lucas at the beginning is running a mom and pop campaign. Nothing too fancy, nothing too spectacular, almost as if it's not even serious. But as things pick up, as the campaign gathers momentum, he begins to find it tedious. McKay turns to Lucas for answers because he's all green when it comes to stumping. Lucas, for his part, acts as a mentor and tries to guide him in the process. He's the pragmatist to counter Bill's idealism, allowing him to preach his message and refining it so it's palatable to the masses. But by the end, he's just as lost as McKay. It's almost as if he didn't expect McKay to actually come out on top. Almost like he plans for victory but doesn't think it'll actually happen. The screenplay was written by Jeremy Larner, who worked as a speechwriter for Eugene McCarthy during his 1968 campaign. There are a few vignettes that occur throughout the movie that would make you think this couldn't possibly happen, but they actually did happen to McCarthy. For one, when McKay gets socked while holding a hot dog and soda was based on a real scuffle McCarthy got into while on the trail, as was the impromptu meeting in the bathroom. Larner had never written a screenplay before, but you'd never know it when watching the movie. All the chaos from McKay dealing with the crush of admirers, press, and staffers, trying to get a moment's peace before he has to run to a meeting or do an interview. It's amazing just how anyone can retain their sanity while trying to put out 10 different fires all at once. I particularly like that one spot where McKay just tries to eat a sandwich but can't even finish it when he's confronted with the latest mess. And him trying to get a Coca-Cola from the machine and smacking it silly just shows the frustration he's expressing at the whole campaign, as well as just trying to get a soda that just won't dispense. Boy, haven't we all been there? Larner does bring his experience into crafting this wonderful story, and 50 or so years onward, it's as recognizable today as it was back then. Wow, guess some things never change. The Candidate was, for me anyway, an unexpected Robert Redford classic. It's the chance to see him play a hero who is vulnerable and lost in the system and, by movie's end, is none the wiser than he was at the beginning. Whereas in films like All the President's Men and 3 Days of the Condor where he's on a mission and he manages to find a win, much to the audience's satisfaction, here the win is superficial. He didn't win the battle, but rather just ended one phase of the campaign and commences phase 2. And if Mr. Smith goes to Washington as anything to go by, he's facing an uphill battle with a system that has been known to break people. Did McKay manage to retain his ideals when he arrives in Washington? Did he become the very person that he detested in Crocker Yarmon? Will he become anything like his father? Who knows? I would have liked to have seen a sequel to this movie, see what became of Bill McKay, but hey, what can you do? It's a coming-of-age moment, really, where the ideal youth of the 60s matures and becomes the cynical adult of the 70s. Is it inevitable, or can it be resisted? Who knows? Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, please leave us a like, it helps a lot. And while you're at it, subscribe so you never miss an episode drop. This is the Robot signing off.